Well, hello everyone, welcome to a Dissensioners in the Dark second edition. This is my review of The Chains That Rust. So let us begin, shall we? So we begin with the rulebook, as it were. That's no such thing as it were. Well, anyway, here we have all the nice little components that's in the book. And here, well, we just have everything that tells you what you need to do with the expansion set up. Yeah, well, that's more or less self-explanatory. And here we have the epic story, as it were, where you actually combine this with Mists of Biohall. If you actually have that expansion, it makes one full-length expansion, full-length campaign. Very nice. So if you haven't got Mr. Biohall, I've never seen it before, we have some new things. We've got a sludge here, right here. To enter the sludge, it requires additional movement points, just like water. However, if you end your turn in sludge, at the beginning of your turn, you only have a speed of 1. That's it. That's kind of harsh. Anyway, we have elevation, which has been on quite a few expansions, so you can see past everything, but you can't move through it. Have old walls right here, so it's like a doorway, except that is a wall, so it blocks line of sight, you can't do anything about it, it's a wall. Nice. And turn over the page, have crumbling terrain, which was yet again in the Mr. Biohall. If any hero steps on it or lands on it, they must take a knowledge test or an awareness test. If they fail or chooses not to take the test, the crumbling terrain gets removed and it gets revealed whatever's down below, as it were. Have something brand new, hybrid classes. This tells you how to use the hybrid classes. We'll get into that in a second. It is just really, if you have a warrior, you can actually choose a mage class, etc, etc, yada yada yada. Very, very interesting. Have the new relic types. So have monster relics, which is just for relics to go on to monsters, and universal relics, which is they don't get placed on anyone except for yourself, in some ways. We have new Tainted cards, which was in Mr. Biohall, giving you, giving heroes +2 health, but when they go down, it gets revealed and all this bad stuff happens. Absolutely hilariously fun. Then we have an Overlord servant, which the first one was actually in, if I remember correctly, off by heart. There's me trying to use up some of the times because I can't remember. It is Manor of Ravens. This one has another servant. We'll come into the Overlord class later, and then we have the people who've made the game. Got all the fluff there. Always nice to have fluff. And then we have the rules telling you about the expansion and how to use the campaign right down here. And then you got the new part, which is combining this with the Mr. Biohall. Really what it is you have the Mr. Biohall, you play it normally, the finale isn't the finale, it's the interlude, and then you just carry on with this, ignoring that. So whoever wins gets to pick that and just carry on from there. That's exactly how it is. And each of these have just one encounter to them, one encounter form, one encounter form, one encounter form, etc, etc, until you find the last. I can't turn over the page. Till you go to the last one, which is this one right here. This is the actual finale, and if the heroes win or... Hold on. Yeah, if the heroes win, they go into this one. If the Overlord wins, they go onto this one. So the second part is a who knows which one they're going to be playing, which is really, really fun. And of course, there's the map. I'll zoom in a little bit about that. Yeah, very nice. And here we have the 4 classes, as it were. That's me doing quotation marks. Each of them has 4 cards each. I got the Steelcaster, which, here they are. There's the 3rd level to buy, there's the 2nd level to buy, there's the 1st level to buy, and this is the starting card, which all the starting cards it says, hey, you get to pick one of, if the camera could focus a bit, you get to pick like the mage archetype if you've got the Steelcaster. You just pick one of the classes there and you just start from there really. Although you can't actually have the level 3, I call them level 3s, class cards for like the mage for this one, and it's just like the same with the others. Your so-called second class, you can't have the ones that cost 3, but you can have the one that costs 3 on your starting class. Just for example, the Steelcaster, you can actually have the Iron Blooded, but you can't have any of the other mage types. The Battle Mage is, well, being a mage type by using a warrior class. Watchman is being a healer using a scout class, and the monk is a scout using a healer class. I quite like this idea. In the Mists of Valhalla, you don't really get anything, no new classes or anything. This is, you could call them classes, but it makes it a little bit more different. So it really brings a lot of ideas to your mind, and I really do love this idea a lot, and I'm hoping to see more of this in the near future. We have 9 Act 2 shop class, as the mini campaign of this is actually all in Act 2 and not Act 1. There's no Act 1s in it, apart from when you combine the Mists of Valhalla with the Chains of Rust, then there you have it. So these 9, you get a brand new shield, which gives you a great ice. This one is 150. I'm not going to go through all of them, but each time a figure adjacent to you performs an attack that targets you before dice rolled, that figure may suffer 2 damage to remove 1 grey defense dice from your defense pool. So yeah, okay, monsters taking damage just to take away the grey dice. That sounds like a interesting choice right there. Yeah. New armour as well, blessed armour. You cannot equip runes, gives you a grey. And each time you perform an attribute test, roll 2 grey instead of 1 grey and black. Yeah, here's the lightning javelin, 200 exotic magic. It's one-handed. Each of your attacks gain X range, where X is equal to your might. Surge stun, surge plus 2 damage, blue, yellow, yellow. Although I think just with this your range is going to be pretty high anyway, so yeah. All of these seems kind of interesting. None of them I don't think blows out the water of like, wow, this is really more of a must and this is really more of a must. They are actually something really new, and they do have a lot more intrigue to a lot of other shop class Cards. Shop cards. So yeah, well, some shop cards are, well, you don't have a choice, but you got to have them because they're overpowered anyway. While some of them is just like, boring, lame. These are absolutely, well, maybe, and maybe. So I like, very well job done, actually, yes. We have the new condition Terrified, although it was actually placed in Mr. Biohall. If you haven't seen it, well, this is how it is. You cannot spend surges. If there are no enemy figures in your line of sight at the end of your turn, discard this card or token. And there you have it. Terrified. You can't spend surges. That's it. Job done. That's actually quite really good. I mean, the amount of times that I've spent lots of surges, especially more in Act 2. So yeah, this card, or well, condition should I say, becomes much more viable in Act 2 than Act 1. So beware for, well, not only just for heroes but also for monsters as well. So the Overlord's got to be careful when the heroes get these terrified conditions for your monsters, like the lieutenants and master monsters. We have 3 relics, a bow, 2-handed item there, a ring, which is a trinket right there, and a cloak. This is a armor right there. I'm not actually going to go through all of this, but if you can actually see, you might want to pause the video and read. That's only if you really wish to. On the other side, we have a monster relic item, which is for monsters, right there. Master monsters in the group get +2 to health. I have a universal relic card, which is not to be placed on anyone, but it's just for yourself. That's nice. And we come to a normal relic, which is of course a bow. Gets +4 to health. And the exhausted card, 2 damage. Nice. Very intriguing relics. There's 6 of these Tainted cards, which are given randomly to each hero at the very start of a quest. Of course, you can combine this with Mr. Biohall to have more of these fiendish, hilariously fun Tainted cards. I'm just going to go through 2 of them. Here's Great Sorrow. So each time another hero is defeated, you are stunned, and of course you are tainted, and while you're not dead, you can only recover health from untainted heroes or heroic feat. It still gives you +2 health, and of course on the back +2 health. So no matter what, you automatically get +2 health. We have Death Rage, which I think is hilarious. If a monster is defeated during your turn, exhaust this card. At the start of your turn, either refresh this card or choose one hero within 3 spaces of you to suffer 2 damage. And of course the rules of you are tainted while you're knocked out. You can only recover health from untainted heroes or heroic feats, giving you +2 to your health. So, do you want to keep this exhausted so you can actually become not tainted and well, you also lose your +2 health bonus, or do you refresh this so this is still viable, you're still tainted but you still keep your +2 health? Anyway, that's a few more of them. 2 travel cards, woohoo! Can't go wrong with more travel cards. Yeah, you know, it's the same travel cards that you get. Some are good, some are bad, some are, well, right at the bottom, no event. It's always fun getting those no events, but hey ho, can't have them all the time. So here I'm going to just show you some of the tiles that you get in here. We have this very interesting looking tile right here. All of this is pit spaces, so yeah, that's going to be fun on the other side. Yeah, it looks really neat, although that looks even better. We have something right here, which all of this is sludge. Yep, wow, might want to be careful when walking in that. Yep, a nice little table with a map, that's very nice. Here we have something that's got 2 more pit spaces right here. There's a little grave right here, and a huge bottomless pit right there. It's not really bottomless, or like that for sure. Cages, it looks really nice. I loved all this artwork. And we have more sludge, of course, as you can't go wrong with more sludge. Looks like a fishing post, really. Here we go, yeah, or sludge. And yet again, more sludge. That's right. Oh no, that's not sludge. My mistake. It's just all elevation lines. So, funny thing is, there's no way to get into there apart from through here or through here, and for this lot from here or up here. That looks really, really good. I like that. It really shows the elevation lines much better, because all the elevation lines seem to be a bit meh, but this one, yeah, absolutely great. And here we have drawbridge. It's a drawbridge. Oh my god, it's a drawbridge. Right, that's it. Review done. 10 out of 10. Buy it. Yeah, as you can see, pit spaces on here. No one really cares about this side because it's a drawbridge. Drawbridge. We now come to the Overlord class, which is Soulbinder. This is the ties that bind. When you get this card, you don't put it into your deck, you just get the Scourge Servant Familiar. If I show you the Scourge Servant Familiar card, which is this one right here, Scourge, it's got movement 1, 4 health, round defense dice, and each time a hero adjacent to the Scourge suffers 1 or more fatigue from an effect other than this one, choose another hero to suffer 1 fatigue. And after transitioning to Act 2, this servant applies +3 to its health, giving it 7 health. It's a melee type, blue, red. Yeah, okay, it's got a speed of 1. However, we can easily say that it's going to get more speed or more abilities, as it were. Go on, it's obvious. It really is. I mean, here you go. Dark Silhouette. Play this card when a hero declares an attack that targets another non-large monster within 3 spaces of a servant. Place that monster in the servant space, and the servant in the space target what? And that servant in the target space. That servant is now the target attack. Okay, fine. So you're just saving your monster. That's good. I like that. Really do. There you go. Got another one right here. Restless Spirit. Play this on 1 servant at the end of the turn. Keep it in your play area. The servant gets +2 to its speed. Woohoo! Just go to card when the servant is defeated. Maybe not all that great, actually. I mean, it's probably going to die anyway, or something. How about something like this? Possessive. Because this is where you want it to die. Right, play a card when a hero defeats a servant. That hero suffers 2 damage. Then, if that hero was not defeated, perform an attack with that hero as if it were one of your monsters. That's 1 to buy as well. It's hilarious. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'm not going to show you all the cards. I'll show you 2 more. Right, Unblinking. You play this in this card at the end of your servant's activation. Each hero in the line of sight of that servant may choose to suffer 2 fatigue or 4 damage. For each hero who does not or cannot suffer either 2 fatigue or 4 damage, draw 1 Overlord card, which is a 2 to buy. Yeah. So it's a lot more better when it comes down to 3 or even 4 more players, because that way it got more chances of drawing more cards, perhaps. Last one, Dance Macabre. It's a magic card. Actually, it is a magic card. Anyway, play this card at the start of your servant's activation. Trace a path of 4 spaces, starting with a space adjacent to the servant. Each hero on that path suffers fatigue up to his stamina. Then move that servant and each of those heroes up to 3 spaces. It's free, which is hilarious when it comes down to pits or lava. No, really, that's really about it. Or moving away from a certain objective where the heroes need to get to. Either way, it's one of those cards. One of those cards that class that really needs to be thought about in some ways beforehand. When you're doing a campaign, whether it's a mini campaign or a full campaign, and you're going to pick this class, you want to make sure that is this class going to be what you really want when you're going up against some or most of the quests. Because if they are, then you might definitely want to pick this class. If they don't, you might want to leave it to one side and pick a different class. It's entirely up to you though, because even though that it's a class that's more specialised in more or less certain ways, every class is like that. It's really about thinking about the campaign. So yeah, it's actually quite an interesting class. I don't think I'll put it on the top of my list of being one of the best classes. However, it is certainly an intriguing class to be picked, and certainly I don't think it's the worst class, but I don't think it's the best class. We come now to the monsters. This is the Dispossessed. This is the Act 1 version. It has movement of 2, so it's very slow. 6 health, grey defense dice, blue, yellow, and the master has an extra 2 health, which comes to 8. Have Ethereal Hold, Fear Band, Surge +1, Ethereal Hold, Fear Band, Terrify, and +1. Blue and yellow as well. Melee. Right, so what do these actually do? So, Ethereal Hold, at the start of your Overlord turn, this monster may discard one hero token from the base. If it does, remove it from the map and place it within free spaces of the corresponding hero. Right, Fear Brand, choose a hero in this monster's line of sight and place that hero's token on the monster base. So, it's all about, well, just always keep using Fear Brand, and you just keep moving towards the hero. And of course, Terrify is the attack deals at least 1 damage after the defense roll. The target is terrified, and you have 2 minions, or 1 minion, 1 master, or 2 minions, 1 master. And the Act 2 version is just really practically the same. Extra 2 health there, so it's 8. Grey Brown, a +2 to damage, and the master has an additional yellow, 10 health, +2 to damage. Grey Brown, nice. And here's the Dispossessed. It looks like an absolute horrifying creature of madness and amazing. It really looks amazing. Look at all of these hands. There's hands there, hands there. It's really all about ghosts and all that stuff, like pushing forwards, and wow, it looks absolutely amazing. Seriously, I haven't even begun to count how many hands there are on this thing, but it looks like an amazing creature. I mean, wow, okay, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, but harassment for heroes isn't all that bad. So there you have it. Nice. Now we come to the Shambling Colossus, which, if I just bring this up to the camera, has movement 3, 5 health, black defense dice, got puncher, surge, +1 damage, a blue-red, it's melee, it's got Harrowing, right, 8 health. Okay. This is Harrowing. Each time a hero within free space of the monster performs an attack that targets this monster before rolling dice, that hero tests willpower, and if he fails, he is terrified. Okay. Puncture. Each of this monster's attacks ignore 1 shield for each defense die rolled by the target of the attack. So really automatically the heroes are going to be losing minimum of 1 shield. Very nice. Here you get 1 master, or 1 minion 1 master, or 2 minions of 1 master. The Act 2 version has 7 health, plus 2 damage. Still same attack. A yellow dice for the master, and has the surge plus 2 with 9 health. Nothing else has really changed, so they're slow moving, unfortunately, but at least they could at least almost automatically do damage. Can't go wrong with that, with a red and blue and auto lose 1 shield. Here is the Shambling Colossus. So 2 base models, so okay, that's good. It looks kind of horrifying with its 2 legs and its 2 sharpened spikes, as it were. Yeah, looks pretty awesome undead. There's some skulls right there. Yeah, it does look like it's a horrifying creature. I wouldn't like to see this giant walking down a dark alley, or maybe I would. Maybe I might want to taste my skill against it. Who knows? We come to the Marrow Priest, which, well, they have 5 speed. Well, there you go, something a little bit more quicker then. 7 health, grey and brown defense dice. Shadow Step, Surge, Mortal Binding, Surge, plus 1 damage. Blue into yellow, melee users. The, well, the Masters has the same. Extra 2 more health, so 9 health. So let's find out what these things do. So Shadow Step, each time a hero performs an attack that targets this monster, he may spend 1 surge. Okay. If he does not, this monster gains 5 movement points after the attack resolves. Okay, so heroes spend a surge to make sure they don't get 5 movement points. Okay, great. Right. Surge, Mortal Binding. Now this should make this a little bit more clearer on what it needs to be doing. So the target tests knowledge. If he fails, place his hero token on this card. A hero whose token is on this card cannot recover health by any means. When a monster from this group is defeated or a hero is knocked out, discard all hero tokens from this card. So 1 minion, or 1 master, or 1 minion and master. So that makes it a little bit more understandable, using Mortal Binding, then trying to escape around the dungeon, just so they can't heal. Right, well, the Act 2 versions, pretty much the same, really. 8 health instead, 2 grey, blue, yellow, yellow. Blue, yellow again, 10 health, and yet again 2 grey. So there you have it. Damage heroes and run away. that's really all about it with that, and with their speed of 5, you can easily get away with that. And here's the Marrow Priest, just standing there with his staff. 2 little lanterns right there. The staff looks pretty good, I guess. Carrying the skull as well. Raggedy style guy, really, you know. So it's alright, you know. Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. Don't really have anything negative to say about it. Yeah, okay, that's good. Well, we come to the the lieutenants, really. This is Ardus Zai Erebus. Okay, so we've got Flanking, Fury, Rally, PS1, has fire movement, good health, and some pretty good defense as well. Blue, red, red, so he'll hit hard. Got Flanking. Each time Ardus performs an attack, he may choose 1 monster with Curse adjacent to the target. During the attack, Ardus may use the surges of that monster. Okay, so job done. Fury, each time Ardus performs an attack after rolling dice, he may test might, and if passes, add 1 surge to the result, and if you fail, it's a complete miss. Rally. Each monster within free space of Vardis discards 1 condition. Well, okay, simple. And it's got Pierce. So, very simple. Lieutenant, get in there and start hitting things. Okay. Although it's more useful when there's more cursed monsters about. Here we have Zeriel. Well, she has Soul Mastery, Tormentress, Exploit Sphere, Surge +2 damage, high movement because she's an elf anyway. Okay, health, and okay, defense. Black or 2. She's a range, of course. Blue, red, yellow. So, Soul Mastery. Each time a hero within free space of Zeriel would be defeated, she may test, well, knowledge, which is actually a 4. If she passes before that hero is knocked out, perform an attack with that hero as if it were a monster. Then the hero is defeated. That's really, really, really nice. Tormentress. When a hero starts his turn within free space of Zeriel, or enters a space within free space of Zeriel, that hero is automatically terrified. Great. Exploit Fear. Each terrified hero within free space of Zeriel test willpower. Each hero that fails is stunned. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Easy way of getting terrified. Yeah, and a nice way of trying to attack with heroes. Nice. We come to Quintifil. Okay, so Quintifil has Bloodlines, Sorcery 4, Enthrall, Surge, Bone Splinter. Has 4 health, 4 movement, sorry. Okay health. And some good defense as well. Yeah, range, blue, yellow, yellow. So Bloodlines is add 1 to Quintifil's defense result for each knocked out hero, anywhere on the map. Right, Enthrall. At the start of Quintifil's activation, you may choose any number of heroes in his line of sight to test willpower. If none of their heroes pass, perform an attack with each chosen hero as if it were a monster. Nice. Sorcery Axe is, of course, convert damage to range or convert range to damage, which with blue, yellow, yellow, that's really dangerous. Blade Splinter is each figure adjacent to the target suffers 2 damage. Yeah, that's really it. Like a blast kind of thing. Okay, that's not too bad really. I do like how the Enthrall is sorry, Bloodlines is all about any hero that's on the board. I like that. And there you have it. That's the Chains of that Rust. What do I think of this? Well, it's better than Mr. Biohall, that's for sure, because you get the Overlord class class deck. Oh, jeez. You also get the new hero hybrid classes as well, which is great. Just those 2 bits really makes a huge difference then consists of what you get from Mr. Biohall. But when you combine this with Mr. Biohall, then you actually have something that's more better, as it were, because you can either have this as a standalone mini campaign or combine it with Mr. Biohall to make a huge campaign. Well, a normal campaign really. You have more the conditions of the Terrified, which of course is going to be fun. Yeah, the special things for this is Tainted, of course, which you can actually combine that with Mr. Biohall, and you can either just go for any of the mini campaigns. So that's great. So you could really have a nice Tainted deck. Tainted deck. It's not really a Tainted deck. It's just like, here's a Tainted card for you. Here's a Tainted card for you. Here's a different Tainted card for you. That's great. The tiles, I think, is amazing. I do love the tiles a lot. The monsters, unsure. That's as far as I'm going to get with that, unsure. Yeah, there really isn't a lot else there, so, you know, it's a difficult one for me to say. I would probably give this one a 7 out of 10, maybe, only because the shop cards seem interesting. The hybrid class cards are very interesting. There's usage for the Overlord class deck, but only if you might need to or not. It's one of those things where there's some things that are interesting and some which are okay and some which are so that's why I think literally at 7. I would have liked to given it a higher score, but you don't really get a lot, but you get something, and you get something new. So anyway, there you have it. I'd literally say 7 out of 10. It's better than Mr. Biohall. Maybe a 7.5, maybe. Probably. Some people might say an 8. Some people might say 7.5, and some people will say 7. I am really stuck between 7 and a 7.5 out of 10. Well, anyway, that is my review of this, and that's only my opinions, by the way. So thank you very much. Until next time, bye.